It's 6 p.m. time for the news bulletin on Channel 2. I am Bethha, and starting off with the main headlines of the day. President Sisi witnesses graduation ceremony for a new batch of police academy cadets. Cautious optimism at Gaza talks as Hamas hands over lists of names for swap deal. And TRIO wins Chemistry Nobel for a new form of molecular architecture. Welcome back, the news in full. President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi congratulated the Police Academy and its students for the 50th anniversary since its establishment. As he witnessed the graduation ceremony of a new batch of Police Academy cadets, President Sisi thanked all Egyptians for their strong determination and will amid huge challenges and problems. Also, the President said the Middle East has witnessed many challenges since 2013, and Egypt has managed to deal with those challenges properly and has never stopped playing its role as a cornerstone of peace and stability. The head of state affirmed that Egypt's government and people always unite to face any obstacles hindering the path of national development and progress, promising that the economic performance would improve in the coming stage. President Sisi said the Middle East is witnessing hard times, notably with the Israeli war on Gaza. He affirmed that Egypt has never stopped and would never stop supporting the Palestinian cause. The president noted that Egypt had exerted efforts to end the ongoing Israeli war on Gaza and is cooperating with mediators to implement U.S. President Donald Trump's ceasefire plan for Gaza. President Sisi called on President Trump to continue bolster peace efforts in the Middle East. President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi held a phone call with Algerian President Abdelmajid Tebboune. Presidential spokesman said that the call focused on means to enhance bilateral ties in light of current preparations for the upcoming Egyptian-Algerian Joint High Committee due to be held next month in Cairo. The call also witnessed exchanging viewpoints on a wide range of regional issues. The two leaders stressed that the international community should shoulder responsibility regarding restoring security and stability in the Middle East. In this regard, President Sisi briefed his Algerian counterpart on Egypt's efforts to end the war on Gaza and to host talks on the implementation of U.S. President Donald Trump's plan. Also, the president insisted the significance of building on the momentum created by the U.S. plan and the international recognitions of the state of Palestine to launch a peaceful political track that leads to the two-state solution. For his part, the Algerian president expressed support to Egypt's efforts to put an end to the Palestinian people's suffering. He also offered greetings to the president and Egyptian armed forces and people on the 52nd anniversary of the 6th of October victory. President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi directed that one of the mosques in the Zaazee city in Al-Sharqiyya Governorate is named after the late Al-Azhar prominent scholar Ahmad Omar Hashim, who died yesterday. The presidential spokesman said the president also directed that a highway linking New Cairo with the Central Ring Road and a highway station are named after the late scholar in recognition of his remarkable decade-long career in scholastic studies, modern thought, and also the call for Islam that served millions of people around the world. On behalf of President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi, Prime Minister Dr. Mustafa Madbouli shares Egypt's delegation at the 24th Summit of the Common Market for East and South African countries, COMESA, that will be held in Nairobi, Kenya on Thursday. The Egyptian participation is based on commitments by the political leadership to support the COMESA efforts towards economic integration. The key regional gathering aspires to increase mutual trade exchange, joint investments, and support private sector role in development in African countries. The COMESA also seeks active steps towards enhancing economic ties among its member states, as well as cooperation between the gathering and the African continent in general. Welcome back. Gaza government media office said that the occupation army launched 230 raids at heavily populated residential buildings across the Gaza Strip since Saturday, when the Hamas group announced an initial approval for U.S. plan for a Gaza truce. Details follow. Session of talks on a ceasefire in the Israeli war in the Gaza Strip began on Wednesday with Egyptian, Qatari, Turkish, and U.S. mediators attending. Egypt's General Intelligence Chief Hassan Rashad, Qatar Prime Minister Sheikh Mohammed bin Abdulrahman al-Thani, and Turkey's Intelligence Chief, also U.S. President Donald Trump's special Middle East envoy Steve Witkoff, and Trump's son-in-law Jared Kushner all attended the session in Sharm el-Sheikh. Israeli Strategic Affairs Minister also attended. Senior Hamas official Tahir al-Nono said that the Palestinian Residence Group had submitted a list of prisoners it wants to be released in the first phase of the truce in accordance with the agreed-upon criteria and numbers. Hamas said it seeks firm guarantees from Trump that Israel would not resume military campaign in Gaza after releasing hostages. 3 people were killed and 1 injured in a Ukrainian missile attack on Russia's Belgorod region on Wednesday. The local governor said that people might still be trapped under rubble. In a statement on Telegram, he said that the attack was carried out on a settlement called Moscow. Scientists won the Nobel Prize for Chemistry on Wednesday for their work developing metal organic frameworks whose multiple uses include capturing carbon dioxide and harvesting water from desert. Japan Susumu Kitagawa, UK-born Richard Robinson, and American-Jordanian Omar Yagi were honored for their groundbreaking discoveries dating from the late 1980s to the nearly 2000s. The jury noted that thanks to their trio discoveries, chemists had been able to build tens of thousands of different MOFs. It listed applications such as separating PFAS from water and breaking down traces of pharmaceuticals in the environment. Welcome back. The Central Agency for Public Mobilization Statistics said that Egypt's annual urban consumer price inflation slowed to 11.7% from 12% in August, a deceleration less than what analysts in a poll had anticipated. The median forecast was for an easing to 11% in the poll of 15 analysts, extending a 2-year downward trend as the government tightens monetary policy. The CAP mass noted that month-on-month prices rose by 1.8% in September, and food prices also rose by an annual 1.4% and by a monthly 2.0%. The euro and the yen were headed for a 3rd straight daily loss against the US dollar, pressured by political turmoil in France and expectations of increased fiscal spending in Japan. The greenback drew support earlier in the session from safe haven demand, with betting side party market putting the odds of a US government shutdown ending on October 15 or later 74%. The dollar index, which measures the greenback strength against a basket of 6 currencies, rose 0.24% to as much as 98.81 after hitting 98.99, its highest since August the 5th. Oil prices rose as investors brushed off oversupply fears, having digested a decision earlier by OPEC Plus to restrain production increases next month. Brent crude futures gained 0.10% to $65.91 a barrel, and U.S. West Texas Intermediate crude 0.79% to $62.22. And dear viewers, by that we come to the end of our news bulletin. Thanks for watching, and that was Basmata signing off.